So yeah, 5 years. It's big. Like, for real, it's big. If you've only watched FaZe, you might not really feel and know how big it is, but it is big. It's actually the first ever VTuber company to achieve this milestone of no graduates from Generation 1 to hit 5 years. As a VTuber corp that made Gen 1 and let them debut with not headhunting, no invaders, is only us. Like, only us in this entire VTubing history so far. So it's like a big achievement that we just hit. It doesn't feel like I don't even feel like it's a huge milestone, but apparently it is. But that's all thanks to you guys and my gen mates and staffs on. Of course, without your support, we wouldn't be able to come here. There was a high chance that FaZe Connect was just gonna die in a year or two. But luckily we were able to survive, and we are still surviving up until this day. Because how you guys show support and show loves to us. Thank you so much. And of course, even with your support, there were many times that we were almost gonna end. I even thought of graduating for actually a whole year, and I kept like whining about it to Sakuna. I'm like, I'm gonna graduate, I want to graduate. So Sakuna was like, yeah. He was like, you know, you can just reduce the amount of stream and stay here. But I was like, well, like, I'm gonna graduate next one. I kept like postponing it, and then like one time, quite recent actually, not this year, but like last year, at the beginning of last year. So I just told him like, I'm gonna pause saying I want to graduate. I'm not gonna stop saying it. I'm just gonna pause it for now. And I'm on a hiatus for that. I'm on a hiatus of I want to graduate. And the very beginning, I remember it was Pippa and then it was Temma who were facing some hard times, and they both really seriously considered graduating. I think all of the Gen 1 at least once has considered graduating for real. But at one point when we were really struggling, when we were like talking, we used to have a group chat. We don't anymore. We are now, I think this is a good thing. I personally see this as a good thing, but we don't have a Gen group chat that's private to us only. There is at least like one staff, and it's not even a server. It's only a channel and the main FaZe Connect server. We used to have a private server for the 7 of us, but it's not like it didn't go well or so on. There was like a point that we didn't need that anymore, because that time we were talking about how hard it is to keep up with things and so on. We needed to vent out during that time, so it was useful. But once like we started to gain a little bit more confidence, we felt more comfortable talking about it to each other directly about things. So we didn't need it anymore, and we were like, we don't even use this chat like server anymore. We can just like literally quit it, and we deleted that server. And after that, when we have something that we want to talk about, we'll just go to our DMs or just like stay in the VC and chat. And if we want to vent out, we'll just go to our DMs or like stay in the VC and chat. If we have something with a staff sound, we will actually go to the staff and talk about it. We will go to Sakuna and ask for help or whatsoever. So it's just that we don't need to do it under the water anymore. And I think that's good, personally. It's really transparent for whatever we do. And that's one thing that I feel like can keep Origins together. The transparency. We don't really want to hide things. And yeah, like I can't, okay, I really like being transparent about things. Even in real life, I'm like, really? Good management or solo companies? We figured out how to manage. We figured out how to manage our lives. It's more like, yeah. We figured out how to manage and deal with people. So for like this 7 Deadly Sins theme event, for this one we did have a server for a short period of time, because we wanted to brainstorm and kind of like discuss of what we want to do for 5 years. But after we had like a solid theme, 7 deadly sins, we were like, okay, now it's time for us to do a presentation. Leah actually created all the presentation slide that time. Thank you so much, Leah. Huge shout out to Leah, best girl. And then we deleted that server, brought it to Sakuna, and did some presentation about how we think 5 years is huge and we deserve something. And eventually we were able to convince him. But wasn't that major thing we're actually good now for Face? Like, good as a company? I don't know. I don't even still think so yet. Because I don't know. I don't really see from like third perspective a Face because I don't like looking at numbers. Numbers gives me headache unless it has a dollar mark at the end. Or at the beginning. At the beginning, if it has dollar marks, I'm happy. Just looking at numbers without dollar marks, it makes me have a headache. So I do not know exactly. I know without any, without my gem mates, I wouldn't be here. And even with one not being here, we would have fallen apart. Like, everyone holds each other's backs. And even for the very beginning, we were like, if you need help, let us know. And we were trying to help each other as much as we can. But as we get closer, we have that feeling more. It's stronger now. So yeah, now we're close, and it feels like I knew that we had each other's backs, but now it feels like we're holding hands together. Like how I feel for Gen 1. I feel like we're holding hands together no matter where we live, no matter what we're doing. I know that if something happens to me, they're here for me. And I know that if something happens to them, I will be there for them. So more than not only like holding each other's backs, it really feels like we're holding hands all the time. That's how connected I feel like with them. Bonded through trauma. Lots of yeah, like everyone's really, really thoughtful of each other. I don't know about me, but at least the others are. We really care about each other too. And it's all really thanks to each of the girls. How does it feel being the glue that bridges Origins GP with the Origins EN members being the designated translator? I never felt like it's hard. It's actually not, because it's quite the meetings are different. Like, we have different meetings. I don't attend the EN ones, so it's only like when we gather around or when we do these kind of like event as a gen, it's the time that I actually need to translate everything. So it never been a burden on me. Like, I never felt like that. It's always not been too hard. Just that as a middleman though, I'm in a really convenient position. I can just switch. So yeah, I like nothing. Like, it's good. And I'm trying to translate as much as I can. But of course, like daily conversation, I don't translate all of them. It's only when we gather around and when someone's talking, and then I would translate to it as much as I can. But I feel like this distance is also good sometimes. That Gen 1, even management says this, but in a good way, we're not the friendship bracelet type of girls, you know? You know those like middle school girls that has friendship bracelets and does everything together, like even goes to the washroom together? We're not that type. But this distance is what makes it allows us to have some space to breathe. And for me, as a bilingual one, there's time that I can just understand both, but those time I just ignore either one of it. Not translator. So when I see something going on in them, I'm more in the Japanese side for the company wise. So what I do is that when Ian is having a hard time, I of course go give them support. But sometimes it's just like nothing that I can do, right? Sometimes I just can't help anything because it's something that arise up like in their meetings. Then I can't help. So in that time, I back read and I feel like, okay, they're having a hard time. I'm gonna go ask them if they're doing fine or not, but I'm not actually gonna go in and dig around like my nose within their problems because it's not my problem. And I feel like that's like the good thing that we can do right now in Gen 1. Since it's also because we don't have a channel, we don't bring every single problem and issues open to everyone. It is transparent when we want to, but if we don't want to, we don't need to do that. It's kind of hard to explain. Do you get that feeling? So we ask if we're doing fine. We know that each of us can ask for help when we need it because we've been together for 5 years. We know we can do that. So unless they ask for help, we don't just like go in. It is nice to do that sometimes if you can feel that they need it, but they're like afraid to ask, or if they're nervous to ask. But sometimes they just need time to process things. So maybe sometimes they don't need help right away. And we know the timing for us now. So sometimes we see something, we just let it lay around, and then like a week later, they'll be like, hi, I want to like discuss about this, can you help me? And then we're like, yeah, of course. But there's just some time that we need to process sometimes our mind. And I feel like that balance is really good within Origins. We know our timings now. We know when we feel comfortable about things, talking about things. And for like the Japanese and English, they of course don't know each other's problems. So sometimes I translate, but sometimes it's also a cultural difference. So translating will make it more confusing. That case, that's the time that I ignore. I don't translate on purpose because I know it's like a cultural based thing. So what I do is that, if it's Japanese, of course I'm gonna go and help them. If it's English, I know Urga, Tenma, Pippa, and Leah, they can help each other. If I feel like I should also go in and help, I will. So like, yeah, I'm kind of in like a position that I can switch, but I know that they can like handle things. If I feel like they need help, I will go jump in. But all of this, what I want to say is that I just trust them and they trust us too. We just trust each other. Well, you're all adults, of course. I don't think I'm supposed to say this, but can you say that to like other VTubers? Yeah, we're adults, but at the same time, we're VTubers, you know. Touche. Right? But for Phase Origins, I feel like, yeah, I just can trust them. If they need help, I know they can ask for it. And if they can't, but like, even if they can, I can sense it when they need help or not. Or if it's just their processing time, or like when they're just like trying to figure it out by themselves. I just know it now. And they know it about me too. That also comes from like the trust, right? Because I know that they will be with me. They will have my back when I need it. So I just have like I just can, how do I say it? I feel mentally safe because I can ask at any time. And I know they won't reject it. Like, not reject, but like they will take my hand. It's just that, yeah, that all comes from trust. And of course there are like, again, troubles within like GPE and size, but some of it's just like highly cultural related. So even if it translates, what we're gonna do, right? We're just gonna have two different perspectives from two different culture. It might help, but sometimes it's just simply a cultural difference. And that time is just like, we gotta accept it. We gotta learn each other's culture. Or if it's like within Japanese, sometimes it's just like, even if I translate it to English, they're gonna be like, why are you fighting such a small thing? But to the Japanese, it might be big. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't really help that time. Like, you know, it's just cultural. There are many things in Face Connect that we can explain. It's just cultural difference. There's lots of things, actually. And I'm just like sitting back and I'm like, yep. You know what? You guys fighting over that? Not Gen 1, but like sometimes the other things I just watch it and like, you know what? You guys are fighting over that, but it's just a cultural difference and you will never ever agree. But thankfully, there's lots of multicultural talents in Phase like that has lived abroad, so they know. But of course, not saying bad or good. It's just a difference. But if you've never lived out of your community, it's just hard to recognize the difference sometimes, right? To look at it from a different perspective, be in someone else's shoes, especially if it's like overseas. It's hard to sometimes. That time we can just like, you know, tell them, oh, this is a cultural difference. But yeah, most like there are problems. They just like sit back and be like, yeah, you can't help that. You can't help that. You're never gonna agree. You're never gonna be on the same page. It's because it's just simply how different the mindset is, and that's like because of the cultural difference. What about Jill and Sakuna cultural difference? I do feel that actually. Like work ethic is like the big thing. Even, of course, it depends on each personality too. But it's also the age difference, right? Sometimes I do feel like Sakuna is a really middle-aged Chinese businessman, which in general kind of like workaholic. But the talent, we are the younger generation compared to the old man. So we do want to balance the work-life balance, right? That's something that the nowadays people want to balance out. We don't want to sacrifice our personal life to work. I think that's like a common idea we have, right? But yeah, that's sometimes hard to explain to him. But at the same time, the Asian side talents kind of just naturally overwork. Sometimes we don't mean to, but it's just like what we do. We are just like, you know, kind of. For example, how like the world thinks Japanese are square personality, likes working, kind of, right? Not everyone is, but it's kind of also in our blood. So I'm like, if I'm asked, if I'm like if that's written as part of my job, I'll do that. Like, streaming is also part of my life. I do enjoy doing it, but at the same time, it is true that I use energy towards it a lot, so sometimes I just feel drained. So those are the times I feel like I want to have my own time to reset it, right? To recharge my energy. And of course, as a corp VTuber, there's some expectation you gotta meet. So those are the times that I feel like, oh, this is work. Regular Zatsudan, I just like enjoy and chill, but there are, like, not gonna lie, there are some times that I feel like, oh yeah, this is work. This is what I do. I feel like the corp VTubers will have that feeling stronger than indies because there are meetings, there's like all the events too. Stepson coordinates it, thank you so much, but in order to attend that fully, there's meetings that we gotta submit and those, right? When I'm doing that homework, we call it homework, but it feels really like work. I don't dislike that though. The amount of work is way much less, I gotta say, than full-time. So I don't dislike this. I appreciate it. But there's just simply times I feel like I want to recharge my battery. I feel like everyone's like that, isn't it? Like, I know my viewers are mostly around 30s, 20 to 30s. That's like what YouTube says. Around that generation is definitely the generation that starts balancing work-life compared to the 50s and 60s. We need a mental break. We need a break. Like, imagine working 7 days a week. People used to do that. In Japan, it was very common back then, and I can't believe it. I would just die. I would happily jump off if I need to do that. I'm gonna be like, no, thank you. I can't. And Sakura is not that age, but he has the mindset of it sometimes. So sometimes it's hard to communicate. We're like, no, we need break. And he's like, you can keep going. That has not happened recently. Yeah. But usually when that happens, management tries to stop, like comes in between us. But back then, when we did not have staff, it was like that. And we were like, no, it's hard to communicate with this person. He doesn't understand the balance. But yeah, like management's here. Management understands. So they try to kind of like, you know, so yeah, management really, really helps us. Explains a lot of the early crash outs. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, thank you for 5 years. I got off track. I don't know what I was talking about. Thank you for 5 years. We weren't able to accomplish this with any single one of you guys. Of course, including the archive watchers and the lurkers and everyone. And thank you to all staffs on. Thank you to Fishman. Thank you for Papa Gorilla. And thank you. Most importantly, thank you to my gem mates. I love you all. That was to my gem mates, not you guys. I love you all was towards my gem mates, not you guys. I love my gem mates. Happy birthday, Lazy Clipper. Happy birthday to you.